Morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Rich Clark, Guide to the Right Path. Carrying on with essential oils, I'm going to be talking about these essential oils which are to do with roots and ancestry. And the first one I'm going to talk about is sandalwood. Now, sandalwood in Indian culture has been used for over 4,000 years. And there's a lot of actual history within that you can only cut sandalwood and use it from a tree which is over 30 years old. And in India, you have to get 90% of the actual quality of the sandalwood for it actually to be officially legal to sell. Now, sandalwood has this long history. It's anti-inflammatory, it's antiseptic properties, and it revives and heals dry and damaged skin. And it's very restorative effect on the mind and emotions and calms respiratory problems. So sandalwood is usually burnt within incense. As you can see, there's like sandalwood behind me in the picture. That's what it's used for. It's really what mainly incense was created with sandalwood. So protecting the skin and balances the skin is an astringent effects helps to balance skin. It treats oily skin effectively while also soothing dry, itchy, or inflamed skin. It restores vitality as it can dispel anxiety and depression, aiding sleep and helping to reignite a passion for life. And it's also considered an aphrodisiac for men. So it's quite interesting that it was actually used as in meditation for the Buddhist monks and so forth. So it actually keeps testosterone higher, which actually helps then people when they're meditating. Eases breathing because sandalwood has a cooling and anti-inflammatory effect. So though it's heated, it's actually cooling. And this actually has an effect on the mucous membranes and can help calm chronic coughs. In a diffuser, if you add 3 to 4 drops in a diffuser to water in a room spray to perfume the air and it promotes calmness. As an aftershave balm for men, it's very useful to use and it's basically 1 drop of sandalwood to say 1 teaspoon of almond oil or olive oil and warm the oil between the palms and then use it to soothe skin after shaving. Now, when we're looking at it from the history of India, I'm going to go a bit more into this because I'm also, as of these last 3 essentials, I'm then going to go into the spiritual nature. So I'm going to talk about some of the spiritual aspects of sandalwood. So with sandalwood, it's actually the other name is East Indian sandalwood. Why it was called East Indian? Because it's the East Indian Trading Company, because obviously Calcutta was in the East, was where the capital of India was, where unfortunately the British came and colonized it. Now, with the tree, it's a root parasite. So this sandalwood seeding is only can survive by being attached to the roots of other plants. So you can't see sandalwood on its own. It has to be attached to the roots. So it has to join other plants. It has to go be with teak, and teak is obviously used for furniture. Clove, which is a really good way of cleaning the teeth and so forth. And I haven't spoke about clove. Clove, I'm going to go into as a spiritual myth because there's a lot of things with clove. It's very interesting. Bamboo. And bamboo is obviously in Asia culture. It's very common. Bamboo is used for a lot of things of manufacturing and so forth, of houses and so forth. And the tropical guava tree is near sandalwood as well. So that actually helps it as well. And the essential oil is principally contained in the heartwood and larger roots. And so it rapidly accelerates rapidly from 20 years and it's in its prime, can go as old as 60 years old. So how do we get the method of us distilling it? Well, the oil is steam distilled or water distilled from the coarsely powered heartwood and the major roots. Now, some people would say sandalwood is unethically done, but it's not because there's certain laws that you have to do. So in India, they literally say to manufacture oil, only the heartwood of the tree over 30 years old should be used. If you use a younger tree, you end up with an inferior oil. The yield is considerably less as well of what you can get from it. So there are people who have done things that way. So the use of sandalwood in Indian culture is the following. Its products have become an integral part of the Brahmin, Buddhism, and other religious rituals. The sawdust of sandalwood and oil and gum arabic and other materials were molded into incense sticks, which is what I was mentioning. So sandalwood's common name is derived from the Sanskrit called chandana. And sandalwood is considered one of the finest woods for carving, and the highest quality heartwood is often reserved for its use. And it's also used for furniture. So if you get sandalwood furniture, it's very calming because also while over time through wear, it actually produces calmness in an environment. That's why you'll find that. Perfume industry uses sandalwood quite a lot, and it's widely used for a tenacious base note, which adds a fixative to other notes, so citrus and so forth. The other thing as well, it's very known to help the lymphatic system. Its benefits for treating venous venous and lymphatic status, such as varicose veins and swollen lymph nodes. It's also very good on the nervous system because it can be used for hot, agitated, emotional stress and leads to conditions such as headache, insomnia, and nervous tension. Respiratory system is if anybody's got a cold, sandalwood burning in the room actually clears the lungs, and it actually is recommended for chronic bronchitis involving a chronic dry cough. It has also been used for the urinary system and also energetically because it's cooling. It's also very useful for the intestines and the gastrological system and the lungs being involved. Now, because it's the wood and oil for choice in meditation, it's reputed to quieten mental chatter and that can distract a person meditating. It's also recommended for the preparation of healing work. So for myself, I don't use sandalwood that much because it's also getting good quality of it. I prefer using frankincense because I think frankincense is very grounding. But if I was doing a healing space, I would burn frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, and then I'd put some citrus notes of that on top. So that's what I would do. And with any of this is if you use sandalwood, it is also non-toxic, non-irritating, and non-sensitizing. So it's actually got a lot of very good properties. The other thing is as well is there's also with sandalwood, there is a form of it which is actually being created in Australia. This isn't an awful version of sandalwood, but it's not as harmonious to use as Indian sandalwood. So until next time, I shall speak to you soon. And the next essential oil I'll be talking about is patchouli. And that's got a lot of history because patchouli has become an essential oil, a very high-end essential oil by accident. And I'm going to explain that as soon as possible. Speak to you soon. Bye.